Hello everyone, welcome back to Live with Stacy and Amanda with Bank of North Dakota. I am Stacy with the bank. We are live every Tuesday around 2:30 p.m. With a variety of topics, anywhere from different subjects in college to what you should do for financial aid to scholarship opportunities, just an array of information. So please make sure to like us on Facebook. If you find this information useful and helpful, you can certainly share the information out, or if you've got questions, send us a message as well. If you want a private message, you can certainly send us that as well. So there's so many different career opportunities available as far as when you're looking at going to school, or if you're not necessarily going to go to school and you want to jump right into the career field, or maybe you've gone to school for a little bit and you decide you want to venture out and be an entrepreneur, or maybe that's what you're going to school for. And so today, this is going to be exciting because we are going to be talking about entrepreneurship. And you will see I'm sitting here with someone today. We've got Miss Krista Andrews. She is here with us from PartUs. She is the co-founder for this app. And so we're going to visit with her about what it's like to be an entrepreneur in the world, or the role that she's kind of taken and gone down. We visited with a few different entrepreneurs this summer, and each one has a little bit different of a road, and maybe that's been their purpose. That's what they were gonna do all along, is get into this industry. But some of them just happen upon it as well. So we'll visit with Krista today and just go a little bit more in depth. So I guess first of all, let's just roll right into that. Is being an entrepreneur something that you've always dreamed of doing, or is it something that just happened for you?
Absolutely not. It wasn't something that I had dreamed of doing. I had almost no desire to be an entrepreneur. I'm an attorney by trade. I've been practicing for 20 years, and I've been practicing family law for 20 years. And I stumbled upon the idea with a business partner to create an app that could help people going through the divorce process. So with that background, I thought there was so much we could do to help individuals, not just in North Dakota, but nationally and even internationally, with the right software, and there was nothing available, so took it upon myself to make it work.
Good. And so with that, do you have a lot of technical background yourself, or how does that piece of it fit in for you?
And I have zero technical background. I say I'm risk averse, and I'm not techie, but I created a divorce app, so it's kind of a cruel fate. But I have a business partner who is actually incredibly technically versed. He's a distinguished engineer. He's been doing this for a very long period of time. And when we talked about what software we'd like to create, I tell him what I call my magic legal fairy wand, and I say I'd like this feature and that feature, and then he goes back to his computer and codes it all up, and we make it work. So it's a nice team.
Very cool. So, if you've got an idea and you're not necessarily sure how to make it run or run with it, definitely take a look and see who's maybe in your inner circle, or see the connections that you have available, and it's maybe something that could be doable for you. So that's really how it was born. Is it's just something that you thought, this is really something that obviously would be useful for your clients, but others as well, right?
Correct. I just saw the pain points that people have going through a divorce, and even though I can't take the conflict or the anger out of the process, I can try to make the process more streamlined and smoother and more cost efficient for everybody that's involved in the process.
And everyone wins then, right?
Correct.
So anyone that's gone through that knows that it's not going to be always the most fun to have to walk through that, but with your app, it's definitely something that is an advantage for many people. So when you talk about entrepreneurs, one of the things that I've noticed is you say you're risk adverse. A lot of entrepreneurs, no matter what they do, they fail. And a lot of times it's failing forward and getting back up and pushing through it. I guess, can you tell us about a time, maybe as you guys were developing this app, that something didn't work just the right way that you thought it was going to, that you guys were able to just pick up, and then it launched you forward maybe for something even better than you originally had hoped?
Sure. I think, like you said, as an initial matter, there are a lot of stumbling blocks and a lot of hurdles that you have to be willing to accept and to face as an entrepreneur. But I try to look at every, maybe not necessarily negative comment, but not necessarily the most receptive to your product as being an opportunity to learn on how you can improve that. So when we had rolled out the software and I went to a mediation and one of the attorneys wasn't using it, my initial reaction was, oh, they don't like my product. And I was a little hurt, and I knew them, and I thought, why aren't they using it? But then by asking the right questions of what is it that's kind of preventing you from using it, I was able to answer their questions and then know what I needed to do the next time around, so I didn't have that same barrier with another attorney, or how we could kind of revise the software to make sure that that was not an issue in the future. So you have to use it as a learning point, or
Sure.
you're not going to succeed.
Yes, absolutely. And so you say you're not, or you may not succeed if you don't use that as a learning point. What do you think attributes to your success with this app? What's the number one thing do you think?
I do think it's just the willingness to keep going and to keep understanding that you're going to have those hurdles, but just because you have one doesn't mean that you're not going to succeed. But also be willing to accept that it may not, and you have to not have so much pride or such thin skin that if you have those stumbling blocks, you're just going to have to keep plugging along and making it work.
Yes, absolutely, and that's always something to remember too, especially if you are, maybe you are already in the stages of becoming an entrepreneur, but just keep getting back up and walking forward and trying new things, or maybe pivoting a little bit and going a different route too. So as far as building this app, what do you think has been the toughest part about the whole entire process?
I think the toughest part has been getting the legal profession to change the way they do things. I think the general population is more willing to try new technology. The legal profession is a little more steeped in tradition. We're always worried about confidentiality, privilege.
Absolutely.
It's new to the industry to have new technology, so they're a little bit cautious about trying something new. They're busy. They don't have a lot of time to try something new, so it's trying to break into that industry. I've had the luxury of being a practicing attorney, so I have many colleagues and friends that were willing to try it and give me their input and feedback in order to kind of kick it off and get it going.
That's awesome. So what do you think, with your colleagues and friends trying it, and others, customers trying it as well, what do you think has been the most rewarding part of creating this?
I think the most rewarding part is when you log in and you see that a client has been actively using it, because at 2 a.m, if they're thinking about their divorce or they have additional information they want to input, they have that involvement and that engagement in the process instead of me having everything just sitting in a file in my office. So being able to give them a tool that helps them go through the process, knowing that they're actively involved, and when they say, thank you for creating this tool because it made it easier for me to go through the process, that was the goal all along.
That's so awesome. So they can be very interactive with it as well. They don't have to be sitting there waiting for you to call or an email from you. They can essentially upload information, log in, upload information, and then you guys have it.
Yep.
You have it ready for you, right?
Yep. I had a client that was in Hawaii on vacation while we were mediating her divorce, and every time we would have a new proposal come in, she would log into her iPad, see what the proposal was, she would call us, and then we were able to negotiate it remotely with her sitting on the beach in Hawaii. So
no better way to do it then, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So for those entrepreneurs that are just starting out, or maybe thinking about it, or have like one foot in, one foot out, what would be your one single biggest piece of advice for just going in and diving into it and doing it?
I would just say to not have an impression that everything's going to happen the way it looks like on Shark Tank, where you make a quick couple-minute pitch and the next thing you know you have a few $1 million in your lap, because it generally doesn't work quite that smoothly. There are just a lot of information that you have to gather. North Dakota has a lot of really nice resources, though, for entrepreneurs that want to take that path. So if you search out those options, they're available to you, but it's just not a really quick overnight success story. For most entrepreneurs, a lot don't necessarily have that long-term success. So just be willing to kind of fight that battle and to take that path, because it's just generally not a quick overnight.
Yeah, so patience.
Be prepared and patience and perseverance, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say perseverance as well. So, well, awesome. This is excellent information. Super, super useful for those that are looking at potentially moving forward with this type of a career, even those individuals that think, why doesn't this exist? Is there an app for that, or isn't there an app for that? And that's just exactly how this came up for you, right? That's how this app was born.
And when you would ask yourself the question I doubted, why hasn't anyone else done it before? Because it's not necessarily easy. So there's a reason that it may not be out there, but you just need to have the time and the energy and the dedication to make it happen.
Sure, absolutely. Well, good. Is there any other information that you would like to share with us today?
No, like I said, other than if they're interested and they're in North Dakota, just to really take advantage of the resources that are available through the Bank of North Dakota, through the Innovate ND program, through Emerging Prairie, because there really are good resources out there. 1 Million Cups, there's a lot for young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs generally that want to start off and try something new.
Yep, absolutely. Well, excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today. We appreciate it, and thank all of you for watching as well. If you have additional questions at all for me or for the bank or for Krista as well, if you have additional questions for her, please don't hesitate to DM us, and we've tagged PartUs in this as well, so you can contact them directly as well if you've got additional questions regarding that app too. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day. I will be live next Tuesday with all of you. We'll be doing, I think, one more entrepreneurship series. And then we're going to be getting into the thick of it with college starting. It started here in North Dakota last week, and we've got all the schools around starting as well. So it's back to school time. So everyone have a fantastic day, and we will see you. And once again, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.